Hello, my name is Chloe and today I'm going to be doing a book review on The Kiss of Deception by Mary E Pearson. Now if you saw my previous video you would know that I have a lot of love for this book. I can barely put it into words. I read this while I was on holiday in Fiji and I absolutely loved it. It was such a magnificent read, like I could barely put it down from one page to the next. It was just, I absolutely adored it. So basically this book is about a princess, Princess Leia, and she lives in the kingdom of Civica, and she has been put into an arranged marriage, form an alliance between Civica and the prince's kingdom of Delbrick. So this would be kind of a shaky alliance to bring the two kingdoms together in order to kind of boost the power for both of the kingdoms. And of course Princess Leia, it's all in the very first chapters, so I'm not trying to spoil anything, but Princess Leia of course does not want to have an arranged marriage to someone that she has never met. You know, she's very young and she has all sorts of ideals about what her life should be, and it's not having to marry a stuffy prince in her eyes and having to move away from her home, from her beloved brothers and things like that. So what she does is she runs away from her arranged marriage and she gets away from it with her best friend Pauline. And she moves to a little city called Terravan, which is on the seaside, and it's beautiful, and she lives there. She wants to make a new life for herself. She just doesn't want to have a bar of kind of the royalty and that kind of life, because it's not for her. Now I absolutely love this book. It was just, there are plot twists in here that just absolutely blow your mind. It's so rare for me to actually finish a book and just want to start it all over again, because I can't say why, but it's just, it happened. I finished it and I just wanted to read it again because the plot twist, oh man, so good. It was just so good. Good. And the female lead in here, Leia, she's an absolutely incredible read. She's such a strong-willed character. I really enjoyed reading from her perspective. There is some it's kind of like triple perspectives in this book. There are two other perspectives from the two male leads. One is the prince who she ran away from. She didn't want to marry him in the arranged marriage, so she ran away from him, and so he ran after her. So he actually tracked her to the city of Terravan. And you'll have to read it to find out if he actually finds her, because she of course assumes a new identity. And the other male perspective is an assassin. Now he is trying to find the princess and kill her because he does not want any possibility of Princess Leia ever finding the Prince of Delbrick to form that alliance between Civica and Delbrick, because if that happens then the assassin's whole kingdom or race or whatever of people, it will not benefit them at all. So they want to eliminate any possibility that that will happen. So that's why the assassin wants to kill Princess Leia. So of course, again, you'll have to read it to find out if the assassin actually finds her. So I'm going to do a bit of a book chat on this book now. So if you haven't read this book and you don't want any spoilers, now is the time to stop watching. Okay? 3, 2, 1. Okay, now I would assume if you haven't click the pause button or the exit button or whatever you like, that you would like to have a bit of a discussion because you have read this book and you're okay with some spoilers coming out. Now, this plot twist, the plot twist, it was so good, I could not even believe it. The writing was so strategic and clever that I actually, just the perception of who the prince and who the assassin was, it was nuts, okay? So when I was reading it first, of course, I thought that Caden was the prince and that Rafe was the assassin. It just happened in my head that way. The pieces just clicked together. And halfway through the book, I think it's actually more than halfway, you find out that that perception was all a lie. Caden was the assassin and Rafe was the friggin' prince. What? I couldn't believe it. I think I stared at the page for a full 5 minutes trying to comprehend what had just happened when Caden steps out of the bushes and is the assassin and he's with Eben and Malik and all the bad people. I'm like, Caden, Prince, what are you doing with the assassin group? Wait a minute, I've been lied to. not lied to, I just assumed incorrectly, and I think it was done that way. Like, I don't know if you've read this book. Did you have the same thoughts? Were you completely blindsided as well? Did you have a frisbee to the head that you did not expect? I mean, I just, oh my god, that was so good. And then of course, because I had been reading over half of this book thinking that Caden was the prince and that Rafe was the assassin, I had to pretty much go back and try and read it again because to change my perception around so that I understood the characters and where they were coming from as Rafe, the Prince of Dalbrick, and Caden, the assassin. Mary E Pearson, you are a fabulous writer. And I never comprehended the fact that when it goes into the perspectives of Rafe or Caden, that sometimes it was just the assassin. So it would tell you that it's from the assassin's point of view, or it would tell you that it's from the prince's point of view. And then some chapters it would say, this is from Caden's point of view, and this is from Rafe's point of view. I never put two and two together that she was doing that cleverly so that you never actually figured out who's who. And that, my friends, is clever, clever writing. And I mean, I went through this whole book, of course, thinking that Rafe was the assassin until you figure out that he's not. So I was really conflicted because Rafe was like so sweet yet so confined, like he held all of his emotions in the way you would expect an assassin to do, because oh, he's falling in love with the princess and oh, he's not going to finish his job, he's not going to kill her, he loves her. But I mean, so I was so conflicted about shipping them together. I was thinking, well, it has to be Caden because he's the prince, but he's odd, and I don't know, but I loved Rafe a lot more than I loved Caden. And then the confliction just stopped when I found out that Rafe was actually the prince, and then he rides off to save her, and it's just, I love it. I just love it so much. So of course, if you've read this book, then you know that both the prince and the assassin, they do find her, and they kind of live in Terravan with her, both under assumed identities, so she has no idea who they are, and she's getting to know them and build up the characters of both the prince and the assassin without actually knowing who's who, and as well as building up Leah's character, because she is incredible. She is just, she's a really nice, humble person for somebody who grew up in a kingdom as a royal princess. She's incredibly clever, quick-witted, and just really kind, incredibly kind. And I just enjoyed all the characters of this book. Even Caden a little bit, kind of hesitantly. You start to like Caden just a little bit at the end, even though you know that he's assassin and he's kidnapped Leah and he's taking her all the way to his hometown, home kingdom, shoot, what's it called? And he's taking her all the way to Venda, kind of as a captive. So, you know, the second half of this book, it's about Leah being a captive and Caden being the mean assassin guy who's captured her, and Rafe following after trying to find her and save her, and it ends on a bit of a cliffhanger too. You're like, oh my god, is she gonna die? Are they gonna kill Rafe? And she's just found out that he's actually the Prince of Dalbrick, who she ran away from in the very beginning. And I just want to know what goes on, and I want to know where her heart lies now that she knows that he is the prince. And it's just I loved it. So please tell me if you liked it too, if you have read it. I would assume you have, because there were a lot of spoilers that I just gave away, and you should have exited before I said all of this. So if you've read it, please do tell me what you think about it in the comments below. If you were as blindsided as I was by the plot twist, the whole Caden and Rafe scenario, and the swapping and changing of perceptions, it was nuts for me. It was such an experience, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. I haven't read it a second time, even though I really, really want to, and I know that it's going to be a book that I'll pick up again. And I've just ordered the second book, which is called The Heart of Betrayal. So that's going to kind of be delivered to me hopefully in the next 2 to 3 working days. It's the weekend now, so probably not anytime soon. But I cannot wait for it. Of course, it's not going to be in any bookstore where I live, so it's a bit of a shame, but I will wait the 2 or 3 days that it will take to get to me, because I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen next. And then of course I'll also put up another book review for that book once I've read it, which will probably be like a speed read because I'm so excited for it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you haven't read it, I suggest you read it, but you shouldn't have watched this video, or the second half of it anyway, because I've just given everything away and that's no fun. So yes, read it. It's great. Tell me what you thought about it. Hopefully it was great for you too. And I will also link the book down below if you haven't read it and you would like to get your hands on a copy, because it is just frigging fantastic. So do it, guys, absolutely do it. Thank you very much for watching, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I would love to hear from you as well. Alright, thanks, bye!